So the main new thing about Noob Saibot, he has this handheld sickle that's stuck in his back.
Well, he wants to have it handy.
Yeah. He can use in a bunch of his normals. You can use it in a lot of his combos, and one of his big ones is his back 3 here, which has a lot of range for a low. And this is also complemented by his forward 4, which is another low. I think, to me, Noob Saibot in like the mid-range footsie game, low is where he excels. He does not have like a long-range overhead.
So you look at like, we all played the beta, right? Like every character you have like the sort of the thesis statement around them, how you want to play them. Like Baraka, I like to start with forward 4. Most people do.
I'm gonna wait too.
Sure.
Wiggle stick.
Yeah.
With Noob Saibot, I think it's the slow.
Yeah, for sure.
And the effects just look amazing.
Yeah, I really like the ectoplasmic like goo that the clone turns into.
Mad props to the effects. It looks so good.
So his list of normal attacks is not really huge. He's really more of a special move character.
Right. I think he's got like, I don't know, 7 main combos or something.
Yeah, it's really one of the smaller normal movesets in the game, but it's a special move that excels. So let's
how
go
you
into
connect everything, right?
Yep. Let's go into his throws because they're pretty sick.
One of my favorite things I think about, doing the next Mortal Kombat. One of the things I really like is when you see moves that were like in, the reboot, like in Mortal Kombat, and see how they've gone from like that gen to this gen.
Right.
Is always fun to see.
Sure.
All right, so special move time. The Running Man is back. The Shadow Tackle. It's pretty much exactly what we want. Pretty fast, takes up a ton of space. It can hit people out of the air. That's happened to you.
Yeah, it's happened to me.
Yeah,
And it's amplified. It's just awesome. I love the gesture he's doing, and then the clone does the sickle.
Right.
And you can actually see the sickle teleport back to his back. So cool.
There's a neat, and the way he stands over him after the meter burn is ominous.
Oh, that's so
Like, just
good. Look at him
staring at
looking
him?
down.
Yeah.
So this actually has a crushing blow with a pretty cool requirement. It's after he's used 10 clone attacks. So Derek, count down with
1, 2. Did you want me to go backwards? 3.
And it doesn't have to just be
5.
he has the anti-air on his back.
7. 8.
9. Now we're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
And that'll trigger again any of the 10. It could be any of his clone special moves.
And if you're playing noob, you're probably
You're
gonna get
using
that.
Yeah.
Again, he's based around special moves, right?
And then lastly, for his base slowdown, his teleport's back. Classic teleport. He can amplify it to get additional damage and take him on this fun ride.
I bet he's having a blast.
He is.
Yeah.
So let's go through some of the loadouts.
And teleport safe on block. I'm just
I don't
kidding.
think that's true.
I'm just kidding.
So the first loadout I want to make was a classic noob loadout. That's pretty much clone moves.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him the low slide is back.
Oh, yeah. I love Noob, man. It's so much fun.
I love the little gesture he's doing there too. And then a brand new move, but definitely fits with his style, is actually a dive kick clone, where the clone is doing the dive kick. I don't know how you can get cheaper of a fighting game move than a dive kick, which is always good. You can never go with a dive kick, but a dive kick where you're literally sending out someone else to dive
Where
kick
you're totally
for you.
safe.
Yeah.
Well, also it just even if you don't hit with it, changing up your jump arc.
Exactly.
Is
Which is
super
how
important.
I've been using it. Like, if I think you might do a ground pound with Jax, I'm jumping. If you didn't, I just do it.
I never knew how important it was to Noob Saibot to strike a pose.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this dude is all about posing.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
So lastly, MK Trilogy Ghost Ball.
Oh, man.
This will actually drain your stamina. You can see it. He loses... It's unblockable. It is very slow startup, but it's fully unblockable, and then it'll actually take a lot of their stamina.
The slow startup can actually kind of confuse you, because when we played earlier today, there were times where I knew it was coming, and I tried to jump, but I couldn't miss. I mistimed it.
Right.
So
One more loadout?
Yeah, see it, Steve.
All right, so this one I based on his sickle, and these are brand new moves.
real quick, I want to say I want to give a shout out to Rick, the Hadou from Combo Breaker. I wanted to wear this hat because Noob Saibot's one of his favorite characters in the game.
Is this another moment of Tyler just throwing out names?
No, you guys
just
know him
randomly giving a shout out.
I like Rick, and I'm wearing that.
I mean, everyone likes Rick.
Yeah, I like Rick a lot.
Who's like, oh, you know what? I hate Rick.
Bert,
No,
Like,
no one
Bert,
says
can you back me up here, please?
how. I like Rick too.
Right,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
he's
like-
universally regarded as one of the best
Yeah.
tournament organizers.
I'm not trying to-
in the
He's
world.
one of the
Like,
nicest people.
I want to give him. So it's okay to give him a shout out, then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
just
just
a
moving
total
on.
non sequitur.
great.
He
what
likes Noob.
What a frigid take.
I think it was your timing. Your timing was wrong.
I thought the timing was pretty good on it.
Well, you're the only one.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe
Moving
so.
on.
Combo Breaker will be great though.
Yeah, we'll be excited.
Anyway, so this is a sickle-based variation. The first move I gave him is Sickle Snag, which
Sickle
is
snag.
it's a combo extender and anti-air grab. If you amplify it,
Oh.
there you go. So that's a really good combo starter. You can also use it to anti-air. That's the wrong move.
Spoiler alert
Yeah,
for
all right.
later.
So then I have Sickle Overhead, where he tosses in the air and it's going to drop down. This is an overhead. And remember, I was talking about how good his lows are, but he doesn't really have an overhead. If you want to play a 50-50 base noob,
Here you
you
go.
can do that. And
Does
it has
that
a-
move count for your crushing blow for later?
Yes. All the clone moves should work.
All the clone moves.
Cool, I was making sure.
Why would that one randomly not count? There's a chance it doesn't. I don't know what I'm talking
We're going in
about.
hard on
Yeah.
Tyler today.
There's also a decent chance it doesn't count. Right now, Aaron is at his desk looking. So anyway, you could meter burn it, or sorry, amplify it.
He's gonna text me and be like, "You might want to dial that
Yeah.
back."
So that's close, medium, and far. It does not track, but it's an overhead that can hit literally from overhead. Like, nothing's ever been more of an overhead.
Alright, fair enough.
And then finally, Sickle Teleport.
This is one of my favorites.
yeah,
He will always throw it behind the opponent, like I'm not controlling it, and then teleport to where it is. And if you amplify it, he immediately pops them up.
That's awesome. Man, this is a real neat character. I gotta get on this.
Yeah, I don't know why you're not playing him, because he's super mobile, super trolly,
Yeah, no.
super edgy,
These are all qualifications to be my character.
kind of looks and dresses like he's still from the 90s.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, is it just? It's just that stream we're doing today. All right. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that was.
Guys,
I just mean he's edgy. Like,
Yeah, I'm so edgy, Steve.
we need to get together and just like be each other's teammates right now. I think.
Hey. Wow, Steve.
Talk about being on breath.
Yeah. Right.
Alright, so finally, let's go into the Fatal Blow, because he has an awesome one. It is actually a tracking, super quick move.
Awesome.
Kabam.
Well, teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
There we go. Yeah. So awesome. What a cool character.
Yeah, I think fans of Noob are going to be super excited.
There is something about it that I really love. That he does have that classic feel for those who played him in earlier iterations of the game. But he has
Most of the characters, all these characters that are.
the most.
KX, so it's really cool that he's back.
Yeah. Do not have the title of the Black is coming back to characters.
Because you are known to wear denim shirts.
I wear a lot. Really. I say
So let's get to.
it's my favorite throw in the game.
It's staggeringly good.
It is so realistically Looney Tunes.
The hat flying away and catching it is the best thing in the world.
Watching Kano freak out is that he has dynamite in his hand is amazing.
He could have just dropped it. He could have thrown it, but
Right.
no. What do you do?
In the heat of battle, it's tough. That's a scramble.
It's so good. All right, do the explosion one more. I want to see the hat again.
The hat's so
It's the
good.
best thing I've ever seen.
Moving on. When I saw that throw, I was like, okay, I love this game. Like that throw.
So
It's personality.
Yep.
People, personality.
one of the things with Erron Black is we wanted to keep just a couple of his core moves, but then reanimate and kind of redo everything, but make him kind of feel like you won't be completely lost, like he's just a totally new character, but a fresh coat of paint. So let's start with, you remember in the last game, his 2-1 string, all those big punches where he kind of punched you like 100 times? It was like his main string. We didn't bring that back exactly, but he does have a 2-1 mash string. It's pretty good. It ends in an overhead, which means at any time, he can actually do his slide. I just totally messed that up. There you go. And they don't know if the low is going to come. Another example of that would be he has a new string back two where he bops you, he bops you on the head of his pistol, or he could actually again go into the slide.
The slide is dangerous.
Yeah, it's a unsafe 50-50, but it can come at any time, so it's pretty scary.
Yep.
He has this. This is probably his best like mid-range move, like from this range. Like I would say his range is not the best in the game, but from here he has this, which
I love the axe handle there.
yeah, it's such a cowboy thing to do. Like it's very. I like that it's not like martial arts. Like he's not doing like kung fu. He's just
Right.
kind of walloping you.
You wouldn't expect him to do kung
Right.
fu.
It would be weird if he was doing kung fu.
All right, what do we got? Let's go through it.
And then he has a bunch of strings involving his pistols that are just absolutely cool.
Man.
It just reminds me of like old school like Western trick shooters.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I really like this one. He's actually using his foot.
Fancy.
So then the last normal I want
Can you
to
do the
show.
high one again?
No, that was a sweep. That was complete opposite.
Just
Yeah,
fanning the hammer.
very, very cool.
Super
So the
cool.
last normal I wanted to show is actually just directly back from MKX, and I'm super glad. The big boot's back.
Big boot. Ooh. Apparently.
And it has a crushing blow if you do it 2 times in a row, and it's an overhead.
And so naturally you're gonna do it.
yeah, naturally you're going to do it, and then they get knocked down, you walk back, you do it again.
The quote here at work was, "I'll do it again."
I'll do it again. And then you can mix up with the slide. And I don't know how the community feels, but here internally, we absolutely love the big boot.
Yeah.
And we always were happy in tournament when people, like, people playing like a patient footsies game. It's like very back and forth, very old, methodical. Then, nah, never mind, screw that.
Big
Big
boot.
boot, yeah. So let's go over his special moves, because they are, again, pretty different and pretty interesting. So his caltrops have gone, and instead he actually has a jar of reptile's acid that he can throw on the ground, which I just love the concept of it. Off his slide, he can actually amplify it and also throw the jar.
That's cool.
And lastly, he uses his rifle in rifle stance. So the idea is he pulls out the rifle and he automatically is walking forward. I'm not hitting anything.
He's walking you down.
Yeah. Now from here, he can actually cancel it with block, but he actually has to put it away, so there's recovery. He can do a normal attack, or he can start shooting.
That's awesome.
And they are super fun to do. The problem is, well, I guess good for the opponent. He only has 8 shots. After that,
He's
he
gotta
actually
reload.
has to reload.
So you can't do that move, let off all 8 shots, and then do it again. You
Right,
actually
he has
have
to reload, and he can choose whether he wants to reload just a couple of shots, 3 shots. You can decide, and obviously there's a lot of recovery. You can cut it short and put it back.
And it remembers how many shots you have.
Yeah, and it'll remember.
Nice.
It does. This is not something where like it's on a cooldown. Like he actually has to keep track in his head, and the opponent does how many shots he has. So
yeah, so do you.
right, and you can see it's very powerful and actually juggle them. So it's a great keep away tactic, but it's got the 8 shot limit.
Sure.
I love the fact. I mean, just the gunslinger mythos to me is
It's super.
always been super cool, and I'm really glad we have.
The walking them down is such an awesome touch to me.
And this is also, people who there are people out there who get afraid of Zoni type things, but like
Right.
he's walking towards you, he has to reload. There are choices he has to make to do this.
Yeah, that's what I mean by he's not a traditional zoner.
Right.
Where a lot of the stuff, you're going to be putting these out and then going into the stance, and the opponent's going to have to know, like, are you going to cancel it or actually commit to it? How many bullets does he have left? Is he going to then go into his 50-50? And he can do the slide, but, he's in a lot of trouble if you block it. He's kind of a thinking man zoner.
Yeah.
Not to say traditional zoning is brain dead. I am a traditional zoner.
Which is exactly what you just said.
Yeah. So let's go over his loadout.
Cool.
The first thing I gave him is actually a command grab. He can amplify it. That's really excessive. And this is a actual command grab. It's not a hit. He has tick throws. Like this one's great. So off of one of his main mid-range moves, he can actually tick throw you. And if the opponent's trying to mash out of it or jump out of it, you can go into the string. And then I gave him this low shot. It's not actually a low, it's a mid, but he, shoots the ground. And to me, this is great as a keep out tool to just get distance. Like you can see, he will go all the way back and then he can start kind of his keep out game. It's a